Genesis 11. Here you have the beginning of the Abraham story. Abraham was living in Ur of the Chaldees, and God says to him, separate from your country, and I will give you a land, which I will later show you, which you will inherit forever. Separate from your family, from all your family, and I'll give you another family, a seed, that will be huge, and which will last forever. So, the promises to Abraham, which are, Paul says, the equivalent of the Christian gospel, the things of the kingdom and the things of the Lord Jesus, they were conditional upon Abraham making these separations from his land and his natural family. But he doesn't really do that, although he's held up as the great example of the faithful. No, Terah, his father, took Abraham and said, let's emigrate. They left Ur, but they didn't go to Canaan. They went to Haran and lived there for about 20 years. And it was only when his father died that he went to Canaan. And in fact, it seems that he did that only because that area was being invaded by other tribes. So God later says that he took Abraham out of Ur. He told him to leave Ur, but he didn't. God says, well, okay, so I took him out. And he himself says, God made me wander from my father's house. So it's almost as if God gives preconditions to Abraham. He's pretty not committed to fulfilling them, and he drags Abraham kicking and screaming to fulfill even those preconditions he's given Abraham. I say almost because man is not a puppet, and God will not just bulldoze his way with men. That is so, because he wants relationship and genuine faith and desire from us toward him. But it is also so that if he just leaves us, well, it's your choice, do you want to obey or not? We're so weak. Even in those conditions he gives, God still works. And you see how Abraham even then takes Lot with him, and it's only going to be later on that Lot says, I'm leaving you, Uncle Abraham, because I need more land for my flocks. I'm going to go live down there towards Sodom. Again, it wasn't Abraham who separated from him. It was a hand of providence that led that to happen. And so, what's the example of Abraham? Yes, faith. But what kind of faith? The whole pattern is of a weak faith that was held onto and God worked with.